Here's the mistake: trusting general advice for the real estate market in Sault Ste. Marie, not understanding that each neighborhood has its own market trends. These include average sold price, average days in the market, percent of homes sold under and over asking, and not knowing this information could cost you a lot of money and a lot of headache along the way. That's why in this video, we'll cover the market trends within each neighborhood. So whether you're buying, selling, or relocating to the Soo, you know exactly which neighborhood is right for you and your family so you can make the right real estate decision and move forward from there. Hi, my name is Ben Warnock. I'm a realtor in Sault Ste. Marie with Exit Realty True North. I help people just like you buying, selling, or relocating to the Soo so you can make the right decision in your next real estate goal. So if you have any questions, just give me a call or text at 705-255-4227, and I'll be glad to help you out. So let's get started. So we're going to go over the market trends within each neighborhood, common mistakes buyers and sellers are making, and how to actually avoid them so you can be on the right track of making your real estate decision. A lot of mistakes happen because people are not informed. That's why I like making these videos to help you so you are fully educated and you can make the right decision because it is a big decision buying or selling a home, and make sure that you're on the right track in your real estate journey. So let's just jump right in and look at the average sold price versus March 2025 and the last 6-month average. So March 2025 the orange bars, and then blue is the last 6-month average. So taking a look at each neighborhood, every neighborhood's a little bit different. You can see which ones are more popular with the average sold price, and which ones are just more luxury homes. So the north end of town, this is a little bit higher than everything else just because there's a lot more newer builds. We have Foxborough, Mulberry, Greenfield area. There's a lot more new homes that are being built in this area, so home prices are quite a bit higher. But there are several homes you can get in this area that are cheaper than this, less expensive, which is great to see because the north end is a little bit more quieter, more around nature and stuff like that. I live in the north end of town. I live near Hiawatha Highlands. The reason why I chose this area is because I mountain bike and cross country ski and all that kind of stuff. So I can just leave from my door, and that's why I chose the north end, because it's a great place to live because of that reason of the lifestyle. Gooley and St. Joseph Island, if you take a look, these are areas outside the Soo. So Gooley is north, about 30 to 45 minutes north of the Soo. A lot of homes are a little bit higher priced. They are bigger lots, lots of garages, bigger garages. People like their garages out there and just being out in the wilderness and away from town. And it's not too far of a drive to get back in. Same thing with St. Joseph Island. It's about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on where you live on the island. And there's a lot of homes on the water and within the island as well. Not a lot of homes do come in the market within these two areas just because people enjoy living there. they usually buy a home there, and then that's it. That's the way they want to live for the rest of their life, and which is great to see because of the lifestyle that they want to choose. If we look at the East End and P-Patch, these are the very demanding areas, very popular. That's why the prices are a lot higher, and they're staying relatively close to the trend. So East End, it's probably the most popular. It has the most homes that are actually listed. Look at the difference between March and the last 6 months. The average home price is relatively the same, where the P-Patch and Hilltop region, there are less homes being sold within these areas, and then that's why there's a little bit bigger gap between the average sale price from March to the last 6 months. March, there was only 3 homes that sold, so that's why it's a little bit jumped up, because these homes were actually listed around the $520,000 to $530,000 mark, and then they went about $50,000 over asking, just because of the demand and the lack of inventory that we have right now. Downtown, these are mostly rentals homes. There are homes that people do buy and live there, but most of them are rentals. Downtown is an area that can be a little concerning just because of every town has this, of drug-related issues and crime. But if you look at the crime reports within the Soo, most of the crime is for commercial. That's why like theft and stuff like this. That's why downtown is kind of in the state that it kind of is right now, with more rental homes and just more people are moving away from that area because they don't want to have to deal with any of that stuff. West End, always steady of what actually has a home price. This is probably the best bang for your buck in the West End area. A lot of nice homes, different types of homes from single family, so for single level to two-story, and then look at the average price, right? Relatively the same between March and the last 6 months and below $300,000. So if you are, this is where your budget is, West End is a great place to live and to make sure to check it out. And then Central, relatively the same as West End, so awesome place. A little bit older homes. You'll find homes with no basements there as well, with a frost wall, but bungalows, 1.5 story, 1.75 story, and it's a great starter home, and then move forward from there. So taking a look at the average days in the market, this is for March 2025, and what we're seeing right now over the last 6 months is days in the market is dropping quite a bit for homes. Why is this happening? Just because inventory, we are getting homes in the market, but there's a lot of buyers right now, and they're buying them very quickly. Like for example, the East End, the last 6 month average was around 24 days, and then 3 months it was like 21, and then March was just over 12 days on average. So homes are selling very quickly, and just take a look at the board between Pea Patch, East End, Gooley, North End, West End, they're all around the 20-day on average. So what that means is, right, it's listed, an offer gets accepted, and the conditions are met, and then it's off the market. So even though some of these are conditional, like if it's conditional, it's still on the market technically. This is from listing to conditions are met, and then it's sold. St. Joseph Island, longer days in the market just because of the lack of inventory. There's not a lot of homes that do go on the market, and some of them just take a while to sell because not everyone wants to live that far away from town. There are some things you have to deal with, right? Like well and septic, being able for snow, and just the distance to travel to commute to work and stuff like this. So if you're taking a look, if you want to buy a home in the Pea Patch, East End, within town, it's very quick. So if a home comes in the market, you need to talk to your real estate agent, and usually it's about 5 days before the offer presentation, and then you have to put in the offer, get your conditions met, and then you're good to go. Where Central and West End are a little bit higher, so this gives you a little bit more time to maybe think about it, look at a couple different homes, and then decide on what you want to do. But the market right now is a very strong seller's market, and if you want to buy a home, within the hot popular areas, you have to make that decision right away. And usually they are going over asking by quite a bit, and what we're going to see. But there are times where you're going to get homes under asking, and we'll go over that in just a little bit. But what actually happens is you have to look at the average days in the market of around 21 days to 24 days. Around that time period, that's when the homes start to have a better chance of going under asking, which is great to see. They're still nice homes, right? It's just maybe they're overpriced, and you can get a good deal on a home just like that. So the next couple of slides we're breaking things down by bedrooms. So everyone's different of what they like. So 2, 3, 4, and 5 plus. So 2-bedroom homes are a little bit cheaper than the 3 and then 4 and 5 plus. Usually what happens on average between 2 to 3 to 3 to 4, 4 to 5, it's around $70,000 to $100,000 difference between actual home prices per bedroom, which is kind of crazy to think about how one bedroom can add that much value, but it does because usually, and there's other things incorporated, like maybe more garages, right, for 3-bedroom, bigger square footage, and then there's just more of those types of homes, so it is more popular, more demand, price will go up. So if we take a look, so if you are looking for a 2-bedroom home, your best bet is we have Central, West End, right, looking for between the under $250,000 range. Central, West End, Gooley, there's a couple, and then the more expensive areas of like the East End, right, look at Pea Patch, over $400,000, and then North End, close to the $600,000 range. There's not a lot of homes in the 2-bedroom range, but there are some. And if that's what you're looking for, you can get a good bargain on these types of homes, just because more people are looking for that 3 to 4-bedroom home style. So average sold price for 3-bedroom homes across each neighborhood. If we take a look, we're looking at East End is the most popular, the most homes listed and sold. Average sold price is a little bit under $400,000. And then Pea Patch is just a little bit behind at around $350,000. North, Gooley, and St. Joe's is the most expensive areas. But there are still homes, anything between $350,000 to $400,000 in the East End and the Pea Patch is usually gone within the week unless something is wrong with it and it's overpriced. But there are still some homes under the $350,000 mark where you can get a detached garage, right, or attached garage, 3 bedrooms, still a nice place to live. You just got to be a little bit more patient. And when they do come up, you have to jump on it because a lot of people are looking for that under 350 mark just so they can have a little bit of a deal. So if you have a budget of say like 360 to 380, maybe take a look at the lower the 3 to 350 range. You probably will have to do some work to the home, but you'll have less competition and you can get a better deal on the home, and you're not actually competing as much between the 350 to $400,000 range homes. And then you can make that home of what you want. As we go up in number of bedrooms, as you can see, the price difference between each neighborhood kind of evens out, where there was a little bit more drastic change between each neighborhood for its average sold price with the 2 to 3. When we're looking at 4 and then 5 plus, these homes are usually roughly the same or similar in each area, and that's why the prices are kind of similar. But as you can see, the home prices do go up. Average days in the market right now for 4 bedrooms is about 9 days. So a lot of people are looking to this, and they are upgrading from, say, the 2 to 3 bedroom range to that 4 bedroom, and then you're good to go from there. And then 5 plus, relatively the same, other than downtown, just because downtown you're going to look at a 5 plus bedroom home, it's a rental, and it's just going to be quite a bit lower, right? Just because it does need a lot of work done to it. But that's the big difference there. But we look at Central, East, West, Pea Patch, and the North End. There was no homes that sold 5 plus in St. Joseph Island. Which is fine, right? It's just inventory. There's not a lot of homes that do go on the market from there. And we're looking at the $400,000 plus range for a 5 plus bedroom. So if you are looking for, if you have a big family or, or whatever the case is, and you just like a bigger home, this is where you're going to look around the $450,000 to $500,000 range, depending on what you're looking at. Taking a look at the last chart, we have our percent of homes sold under and versus over asking per neighborhood. And what we're seeing over from the last 6 months, 3 months, and March for this actual percentage is before, over the 6 month trend, there was more homes that would sell under asking, where we're starting to see an upward shift and actually a change that there are actually more homes that actually percent sold over asking than under within this March. So this is just showing us that the market is very strong, seller market. It's very demanding, more competition, and more homes are going over asking. If you're taking a look between East End and West End, these are consistently more homes sold over asking than under. So if you are looking for a home in these regions, in these neighborhoods, be prepared to pay more because there's going to be competition. And once there's competition, it will go over 99% of the time. Where you can get some good deals, right? You don't have to do this if you prefer. You know what? Maybe we don't really care where we live as long as it's a safe, nice neighborhood. Then we have like Central, West End, Pea Patch, North End. Between those neighborhoods, you can still get great value for a home under asking. It's just you just got to be on the ball and see what's available to you when you're actually looking for a home. Hope this video helps break down each neighborhood so you can see the market trends and then what's best for you and your family when you're buying, selling, or relocating to the Soo. Because each neighborhood is very unique, and there's a lot of safe places and nice places to live, to raise a family, and whatever goals that you do have, right? So if you're looking for nice neighborhoods, a lot of family, there's still plenty of nice places in Central, East, West, Pea Patch, and Hilltop, and then the North region as well. Where downtown, we're looking more around the rental properties and investment properties and that type of nature. So this is where you're kind of going to see that from there. If you have any questions about each neighborhood, and if you want more details of market with specific to within a neighborhood, I'm more than happy to help you out. So if you're buying, selling, or relocating to the Soo, just give me a call or text at 705-255-4227, and I'll gladly help you out. I'll see you next time.